Hello everyone, this is the Clever Fool here, back with another video for the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition campaign run-through on hard for all the achievements. Today we'll be playing the Art of War, and I feel like I'm going to do this one first before I dive into the rest of the campaign so that I can at least get my skills sharpened up. Now the goal here is to get gold medals on everything, and I will keep trying to do that until I do. What I think I'll do is, for the successful run, I will keep the whole footage with all the commentary for the successful run, and if things go wrong or particularly interesting things happen in failed runs, then I will include them. The first time I started this, it actually crashed as soon as I started the game, so I'm kind of interested in seeing if it'll happen a second time. It was very, very strange.
Philosopher Sun Tzu. His teachings come to us from ancient books, and his infinite wisdom about warfare and military tactics still apply to this day. I will guide you and teach you these most important lessons, Commander. Listen very well. Sun Tzu teaches us not only how to engage our enemies, but also how to manage logistics. An army cannot fight without the proper supplies. Without food, arrows, and arms, an army cannot stand its ground. In the words of Sun Tzu, bring war material with you from home, but forage in enemy territory. Then the army will have enough food to survive. Let us see if you understand this advice.
Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. It crashed! Attempt 16. Succeeded on attempt 9, but the recording software died on me, so I don't have the footage. And it succeeded on attempt 4, except for whatever reason the game decided that having 2 seconds left doesn't count as succeeding. So here's hoping that we succeed on this attempt.
You need to gather 500 food, train 21 villagers, and then advance to the feudal age in order to complete this challenge.
채직군. 예? 채직군.
You will also need a lumber camp and a mill. Place the lumber camp right next to the forest on your left, and place the mill right next to the forage bushes in the north of your base.
출동 그러죠. 저요? 목수.
Be sure to keep your villagers working at all times, and also assure that your town center never stops producing villagers. Only then can you hope to earn a medal from this challenge.
채직군.
Holding the shift key while tasking your scout to explore will set waypoints for him to follow. Now is a good time to start luring a bull like in the video. It might not work the first time that you try it, but do not worry. Practice makes perfect.
준비 그러죠. 사냥꾼.
대기. 저요? 예, 채직군. 사냥꾼.
목수.
대기 준비. 예? 대기. 저요? 준비. 저요? 대기. 채직군.
If you're struggling, observe your ally. He has done this before.
준비 사냥꾼.
Do not forget to build additional houses for your growing population. Build a house each time that you have 2 or less population room left.
예? 채직군.
예? 네.
저요? 예? 채직군. 준비.
대기. 출동 사냥꾼. 준비. 네. 사냥꾼. 예? 그러죠. 사냥꾼.
대기. 사냥꾼.
저요? 채직꾼.
You have gathered 400 food. You are so close.
준비 채직꾼.
저요?
You have 21 villagers. Now you just need 500 food. You managed to gather the food and train the villagers necessary to proceed with strength.
Did I do it?
Now, click on the feudal age
I do
research
it?
icon to advance to the next age.
Did I do
well
it?
done.
Chat. Did I do it? I think I did it. I think we did it. I'm gonna have to check the recording on that because you see that we go to return to challenges. You see that I did indeed get this before, so you're gonna have to believe me that I got it on my 9th try. But I will check the footage. But I do believe that this footage is good. Sorry for not commentating during that, but I'm not skilled enough to muscle memory it yet. I'm still learning the muscle memory, so yeah, it took all my focus to do that. Okay, so a couple of things to be careful of for this. The first thing is when you lure your boar. First off, you cannot lose a villager when you lure your boar. If you lose a villager, you'll lose. You simply do not have the time to lose a village, to create a replacement villager and click the feudal age button before the time limit for a gold medal comes up. So A, you cannot lose a single villager. B, you can't research Loom because researching Loom takes too much time. If you research Loom, you'll also lose the window. The window of time for a gold medal is less than the creation time of a villager, which is like 20 seconds or something like that. Third thing is when you lure with your villager, you do shoot twice. But when you garrison your villager inside a town center, what I find is even if you shot the boar twice, once you garrison, occasionally the boar will run away. So what you really want to do is by the time the villager is getting ready to garrison, you actually want your other villagers to be already shooting by the time the villager is trying to get into the town center. Because this way, the aggression of the boar never gets lost. Because what I was doing before, what caused me some failed runs was I'd shoot twice, my villager would get really low, it'd make it into the town center, and then the boar would just completely lose interest and then run away before I could task villagers onto attacking it while I was close to the town center. So that's another thing. You want to make sure that your town center villagers are picking up the boar as soon as your bait villager is coming back. The third thing is you don't want to overcommit to wood here. You really only need 2 villagers on wood. What I do is after I get my 6 villagers on sheep, my 7th villager goes to wood to build a lumber camp, and then I send an 8th villager to go. So I only have 2 wood choppers for this. Now, obviously, in a random map, I typically for a fast castle, or this will vary, right, depending on whether you're going fast castle or whether you're going for fishing ships and stuff like that. You know, the timing of this is not actually super critical. But for this particular challenge, you only really need 2 villagers. One to build the lumber camp, one to chop some trees, and then when it comes time to build houses, you want your lumber camp villager to be building the house. You don't want to risk like misclicking and losing your food or something like that. So yeah, that's just straight up another tip right there. And then lastly, if you what I find is, yes, there is a certain efficiency. You don't want to kill your sheep too far away from the TC. You obviously don't want to kill the boar too far away from the TC because that's walking inefficiency and stuff like that. I find that in general, that's not as huge of a deal. You definitely want them under your town center. It will save you critical seconds. But if you're just like a regular player like me, so long as they're somewhere under the town center and your villagers aren't bumping into each other too much, that's fine. What you'll notice that I did here was I actually lured a deer from the south side. And that deer basically made the food pressure a lot less for me. I could keep a lot of people under the town center instead of having to wander over to the berry bushes. That allowed me to delay the construction of my mill so that I would never risk getting myself housed. Now, in a real game, using your scout to lure a deer is very viable. I actually watch, like, when I watch T90's games, when I watch, like, the games that he casts, that is, you know, I see pros luring their deer all the time. It's not like an advanced technique. It's not, like, super hard. It does take a little bit of practice, just like luring a boar does. But I only learned how to lure deer for this particular challenge. And I'm really happy that I did that because now I can incorporate that skill into my game, which is really cool. I really think that this challenge is cool. I'm glad I did it. Super, super satisfying, and I'm really glad I decided to do these before I tackle the rest of the campaigns. So that'll be me, Clever Fool, signing right out. I'll probably try these next challenges very soon as well. See you guys later.